If you learn about twin flames, about the special connection, the special bond you have, and then you learn about everyone you pushed out, you will realize that the twin flame template is just one form, an extreme form, you could say, of everyone as you pushed out. You may have never experienced this as strongly as with your twin flame, or that soul that you have this contract with, that you share this template with, that is your mirror, even more so than other people. Actually, it's not more than other people, it is just felt stronger than others. But everyone as you pushed out means that not only your twin flame, but every single person you encounter is a mirror of something that is within you, a fragment of yourself, you could say. Even strangers. And strangers, you may not have specific assumptions about that specific stranger, but you have assumptions about people in general. Some people are like this, some people are like that, and then you encounter people that meet your assumptions. But I was just meditating, and the thing that I saw, or the download that I had, was with our specific person, and let's just call it twin flame in this scenario. It doesn't really matter what kind of person it is, but we just established it is especially felt strongly with that person that people perceive as their twin flame. Why? Not because they're actually closer than any other soul. It is just felt closer because you share a specific frequency with that person. They are a perfect counterpart, either because you share the yin yang energy, and there's different types of yin yang in the monadic or the split twin flames, or you in other form are just very complementary, so you feel this energy with that specific person even more intense than with others. So your specific person, your twin flame, well, in the twin flame community we either call it your divine feminine or your divine masculine. So you hold both energies within you, the feminine and the masculine. You have one stronger, and the other person is nothing but a reflection of your own inner feminine or masculine. Your 3D life reflects, if you are a woman, most likely your inner feminine. It could also happen if you're male. And your specific person, let's say they are the divine masculine or the masculine, then they would mirror your inner masculine, your image, your assumptions about manhood, the man that you grew up with, but also your own inner masculine. They are just a mirror, a holograph, you could say, of that you carry within yourself. But let's talk about trauma bonding. I was talking to my inner masculine just now. My inner masculine, of course, it is part of myself, and by he I mean really that fragment, my own masculine energy. Imagine the yin yang symbol. Even a feminine aspect, the yin, the black one, holds the white spot. So we all have the opposite energy within us, because souls are genderless. It is just something we experience in this 3D life. So we all have the inner feminine and masculine, and the inner child. You all may have heard of that, but also the inner couple. So I was talking to my inner masculine, who tells me, yes, I was always there with you. Every time you were in some kind of conflict, I was there. Every time you felt alone, I was there. Every time you have experienced trauma, I was there. Your inner feminine or masculine, they have been with you through everything. And now we attract people that mirror what is within us. So if your own inner masculine or feminine is wounded because you have experienced some kind of trauma, you will attract someone who most likely has experienced a similar kind of trauma. Sometimes it could be a little bit different. Sometimes one has a mother that is mothering, and one may have a mother who is not very much there or emotionally there, but both may have experienced problems with mother. But of course, it can also play out in both had the smothering mother, or both had the not really loving or nurturing mother. However, it does play out in a different way. One person develops the anxious attachment style and one the avoidant attachment style, because we need that difference in order to develop. If we are exactly the same, then we're stuck. Two people with avoidant attachment styles, they just avoid each other and then they won't grow. Two people with anxious attachment style, well, they're just clingy, and then again there is no growth in that. So we need the other aspect. The yin yang, like the feminine and the masculine. And you could say the anxious energy is more distorted feminine energy, and the avoidant energy is more the distorted masculine energy. So when we have been through some kind of trauma, then both our inner child, you could say all of us, our inner child, our inner feminine, and our inner masculine has been hurt in some kind of way. So the thing is, we then attract somebody with whom we have this kind of trauma bonding, because you have been traumatized, which means your inner feminine, inner masculine have been through some hardship, and your specific person is just a projection of that what you carry inside you. And that is how mirroring also happens. So we attract somebody who shows us our core wounds, and that could be by either smothering, what the divine feminine often does. She wants to hold on too close to the masculine, or by avoiding, the distorted masculine who withdraws. Because you need to realize that we are mirroring them as well, and we are a projection of their inner feminine. We should not worry about what's going on with them, because they exist multiple times in this multiverse, and we always get the version of them that is matching our own energy. If you want to get to union, you have to heal both inner fragments within you. If you do your work, then you do heal your inner feminine and your inner masculine and your inner child, obviously. But the other person still is always a projection, which means as soon as you make progress within yourself, that is what's getting mirrored back. That is the way to heal your other person, your specific person, your feminine or your masculine in the 3D. That is how you heal them. They are a projection of what is inside you. Well, fact is, or I believe that to be fact, is once you heal your inner issues or you transform them. I know some people have a problem with healing. We can talk about you alchemize that, you turn the trauma you've experienced into your strength, or you just transform it. We always get that version of our person that matches our own inner beliefs, our own inner feminine or masculine. So as soon as we change on the inside and we transform those energies and we balance them, balancing is another beautiful word, isn't it? We shift in the multiverse to the version of them that matches our new energy. So if you take one step forward on your balancing or transforming journey, you shift to a parallel reality where your person also has taken one step forward. Well, if you take 2 steps forward, then you shift into a version, a reality, where your person has taken 2 steps forward in their own transforming journey. And that is why it is also so important to check our assumptions, the assumptions we have about men or women, about love and relationship, because that's where our wounds come from. If we assume mom loves you, moms should do that, right? But mom is very smothering, then you connect love with suffocation. So love becomes something dangerous to avoid for one part. And the other person maybe had mom that was absent, maybe because she had to work a lot, or maybe she was not very kind and loving. And then there's this connection of, love is instability, or love is not getting attention or not getting affection. And then that person would look for that on the outside and wants that from their specific person, from their twin flame. And that's why so many, I don't want to say divine feminine, because at this point we're talking about distorted energy. The distorted feminine is blaming the masculine for not being there, for not giving them, because they are triggering that core wound of being neglected in some kind of way. And at the same time, the feminine is triggering the wound of smothering or controlling that the distorted masculine may have experienced in their life. But again, the other person is just a holograph or a projection of what is inside you. And that is why Neville Goddard always said, there is no one to change but self. We don't have to worry about, does my person change? Are they able to change? You just focus on your own change. You check your assumptions. What assumptions do you have about man, about love, about relationship? And you work on those. You can use the revision technique, affirmations. I have so many videos on my channel that could help you. Please check them out. Also, I have meditations and affirmations, guided affirmations for the day or during the night to reprogram your mind. Important is to stay on your mental diet. It does not bring you anything to do a 20-minute meditation and for the rest of the day you're just in lack mentality. Then you save those 20 minutes. They won't do anything. It's more important to learn to not constantly shift into negative beliefs, because again, your other person is mirroring what is inside you. So if you see them as absent, they will mirror your absence. But you can close your eyes and you can talk to your own inner masculine that is always with you, because your inner masculine is part of you. Your inner feminine is part of you. They are part of your stream of consciousness. You are connected to that energy always, all the time, which means you have access to that energy all the time, which means you can communicate with that energy all the time. So you can get into the state of having your person with you, because if you connect to your own, let's say your person is a masculine and you connect to your own inner masculine and your person is just a projection of that, well, then you connect to masculinity. And once you made peace with that and you really established the thought and the feeling, oh my God, masculine energy is there, is in my life, is within me, my twin flame is inside of me. That's where he truly is. And that doesn't even have to be your twin flame, any kind of person. Even your neighbor you're having arguments with is a fragment of yourself, and you can talk to that fragment and make peace. You don't argue. If you argue in your thoughts, then the universe will think you like to argue and will constantly create fights so that you can argue. You can make peace with that fragment, because again, everyone is you pushed out, and you can use inner conversations to connect to different aspects of yourself that are then getting pushed out. So that is where we start. Make peace with your own inner masculine, connect to them internally, and then you can connect externally. So don't worry about them. Every little bit you transform in your journey and you transform your image of masculinity, they will have to mirror that back to you. And that's the way to get to union. If you need help with that, already said it, check out my other content. If this helped you, please help me by liking, subscribing, sharing, leaving comments. All of that helps me grow my channel. If it really helped you, you want to leave a little tip, because my channel is still too small to get monetized. Done hundreds of videos so far and not gotten a single cent out of it from YouTube. So if you want to leave a little tip and you appreciate all of the time and effort I put into this, there is a link to my PayPal below. If you want to book a personal coaching, then you can do that. And I do see you in another video or in personal coaching. Until then, I do wish you all the best now. Bye bye.